Hey there, friends. My name is Dana, otherwise known as Dana Spirit Butterfly. I'm recording this videoed information. It's about my upcoming Rose initiation program. I've been journeying with Rose for quite some time. As I know some of you are aware, Rose is quite a common lineage reclamation process for women. Rose also, as a spirit medicine, also works quite commonly with men because all of us, we all belong to a connection of Earth Mother frequency. It basically is code for your entrance into life through a birth canal, through a womb, that connects you ultimately to the original mother. And the original mother is of course, the Earth. And we all have a personal connection to that journey, to that storyline. I want to acknowledge that I record this video on Bundjalung lands. I pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging, recognizing that sovereignty was never ceded. I live here currently. I was born on Kaurna country, otherwise known as Adelaide, South Australia. And I'm a proud Anglo-Celtic woman of ancestry, also Dutch, who is 5th and 6th generation Australian born. So as I express myself in that way, I wish to acknowledge that as a worker with spirit, who works with spirit energy, I have my own lineage through my own ancestry, my own blood ancestry, but also because spirit is not necessarily only through bloodlines. I also hold a registered connection to the land spirit that belongs to Kaurna country, because that was my birth portal, and also here because I live here and I work here as a spirit worker, or as the spirits here call me, a spirit walker. They like to call me spirit walker. So as I say that, I just want to declare I'm noticing a little bit of embarrassment as I share that, because I know so many people hold resistances to the term spiritual. And so when I say to people I work with spirit, or I'm a spiritual teacher or healer or mentor or whatever it is, words spill out of my mouth when you ask me about what I do, the resistance is quite common. And I appreciate resistance to the term spirit. Often that resistance actually comes more as a reflection of the paradigms that you might call religious or dogmatic. And as I say that, I can only say that with true presence and my own personal identity staying present with you. If you ever do have resistance around that word and what it is that I use as terminology to declare what it is that I do, I respect you and yours and your journey. And the initiation program, as it is, here's a rebirthing program, again, spiritual terminology, but it basically means that it's a way of peering beyond the physical. It's a way of exploring what I call your deeper well, which, deeper wellness, but also it's that part of you that most people may describe as hollow or empty. And I know that it's a signifier of a disconnect to the deeper well, to the deeper wellness, to you inherently voiced as you show up, as you are designed, as you're intended, considering your lineage, your blood lineage, that which you've inherited as DNA, and your soul lineage. And also because we are connected to an ecology and an environment, you also have an ongoing dialogue with the geographical location that you live on, which I call land spirit. So if spirit or spiritual triggers you, I welcome that. I welcome you. I welcome your landscape, however that is for you. But this program is about a deeper dive. It's about getting beyond the dogmatic. It's about embracing change the change that you need, that you're desiring for you, because we nearly all are when we're hollow inside and disconnected from the deeper well that connects us to all life forms. I have serious desires to facilitate processes for you, whoever it is wishes to learn more about this, to find what's in there. And so the Rose Initiation Program is a deep dive into you. It is a facilitated process, but it is you populating the space that is created for this experience, so that you can peer behind some of the dogmatic you, some of the principled explorations that you've maybe been given by the external forces in your life. Some might use the term patriarchy. I'm going to leave that there. It's a way of peering into a deeper landscape, and we're using Rose, not using Rose, but Rose has offered her services as an intelligence, as a plant spirit. Some may use the term plant medicine, although often the term plant medicine is used to describe a psychedelic experience. I assure you, you can enjoy psychedelic experiences with Rose when you're in ceremony and when you know how to invoke a deeper connection to intrinsic spirit and spirit language, which is something I also teach, because why not? It really does change reality in good ways. We're tuning in to the consciousness of Rose with her consent in a reciprocal arrangement to assist you to give birth to your voice, your sacred voice, that which is deeper within you. And she is here to do that because she, as a collective consciousness, is very strongly aligned with principles of self-love, with deep personal care and nurturance, but also she's an ancestral healer. And there's records on the earth that has her, there's fossilized remains of roses that are 40,000 years old. And that was found, I believe, in Central America. There's also remains that have been found in Turkey and in China. So when we use the term Rose as a plant medicine and a plant spirit, she doesn't just belong to English ancestry. She's actually a universal communicator of a particular energetic. And she's deeply woven into the fabric of our reality. Everybody knows what a rose is, and most people have an associated connection to what her voice symbolizes. For you, maybe you might tune in, see what rose is associated with for you. I don't want to give away too many answers around that. I'd much rather you have your own experience around that, but she will show you some of those associated meanings as you journey with us for the 5-week initiation with her. Now, if you've already worked with Rose and plant spirit medicine, then you'll already have some grasp of what I talk about. If you haven't, it's no impediment to you getting results from this experience. Of course, I'm reminded as I say results, I'm reminded that, the results that we receive often in anything, it is reflective of our ability to receive and our ability to trust that we're able to receive something meaningful. Again, we'll dialogue more with you with that. And as a part of the initiation process, there are 2 live gatherings that I'm offering where we will get to sit together if you choose, because it's an optional offering. You don't have to attend them, but it'll be an opportunity to sit with me. I'll have Rose alongside with me as a spirit energy, as an ally. And we will answer some of your questions around what you're experiencing and gather together with some of the other participants to connect a little bit more around Rose and what the voicing of you is. with her support and her guidance. Rose is also a very high vibrational spirit form. For those of you who, that language makes sense to you, she's known as an energetic cleanser. So she's a very pure source energy, and very rich in a cultural landscape. So, certain plant medicines are associated with certain lineages, and with Rose, she's very open source, and very accessible to all levels and all desires. You can take her into grief patterns. You can take her into pleasure patterns. You can take her into inner child work. You can take her into ancestral lineage work, which we've mentioned. She's also really good at helping you reconnect with mother and father wounds, and to build a sense of trust in your own independence, as a mature human, or woman, as we call us. A few other things I want to say before I dive too further in. And, if you're finding that your attention span is suffering from the length of this video, then, tune out. I invite you to maybe read some more about the project if you're still curious around that. The cool thing about the initiation program is that there are recorded videos that you get to digest in your own time. So most of the recorded material is pre-recorded, so you don't have to sit there and listen to me live. You can stop it and start it. We also have written material that essentially affirms some of the stuff that will be recorded, along with some practices. So, Spirit and I, when we first started spirituality and exploring spirituality, I found that I got sick of all the talking, and what really helped me was the practices where I got to, pour myself into the experiencing. And so the program will have those audios, practices to help you if you need guidance through the practices. But the idea is for you to accumulate a wealth of dialogues, or tools rather, that allow you to independently explore yourself through this practice. And even Rose's not always needing to be there along with you. We've recorded the practices because they're activating of human potential generally, and they can be used with a whole range of allies that you'll find out if you join the program. Find out. We also, there's one other thing that we're offering. I think I already mentioned that. It's okay. Anyway, it's all written down. So before I go, if you want to go, you can go. But just to lean in a little bit more about what the program's about, I want to talk a little bit about patriarchy, actually. Rose, and when you do decide to do Rose work, is intimately linked with patriarchy. She is a healing agent, is not independent from patriarchy. And when I say that, I want to just acknowledge that patriarchy as an elemental force in earth magic in itself is not a bad thing. We all have fathers, and I think everybody can acknowledge that we all need fathers. We all need that masculine presence in eldership who can guide us and support us and provide protection and consistency. And so when we use the term patriarchy, there's a connection formed to patriarchy and as an elemental force, and how it's expressed in modern society and how it's shaped the structures of our storylines as a collective. Rose is intrinsically linked to that. And there are a number of reasons why she's linked to that as an elemental force of nature. But it dances a little bit with an idea of polarity. And polarity in itself is a construct that exists here on Earth. And it's really evident in the fact that we have genders. And I'm not going to go into the whole gender conversation right now, except to say that gender fluidity is a modern construct in the way that we're talking about it now. It in itself is welcome. Rose does welcome gender fluidity. But alongside of that is perhaps a conversation that is ignorant to polarity, or conveniently stepping out of polarity. And polarity in itself is a part of our dimensional experiencing. It's a part of the 3D reality. It is only possible to heal the wounds of trauma by acknowledging the fact that we have polarity. Polarity in itself is not the end of the storyline, though. Polarity is a comparative conversation that allows us to deepen into a sense of meaningful reflection. And when you're able to step out of some of the wounding, some of the trauma that you may carry, heart, head, spirit, ancestry, then you'll start to hear polarity in a different way. And it can become useful as a dialogue to assist us with a deepening into diversity, which often is what we call the rainbow frequency. The rainbow frequency is an elemental force, is basically a differentiation of white light. And so I don't personally work with white light a lot, but I do work with the rainbow spectrum and frequency. And a part of that energy is very present here in Australia because of the Indigenous landscape that is here and the available light that we've received here as an organismic environment. And I'm not going to go more into that, but the energetics of the program does allow space for this diversity because the process of it, or rather the consequence of doing these processes, is that diversity, that acknowledgement of the availability of difference. That is healing, and it's only available once you journey through polarity. I'm not a polarity teacher. Rose will show you how this dances for you personally as you move through the process. As you move through the process. Now, we all have developmental wounds. We all have ancestry that contains traumatic dialogue and stories. They're always unique to the individual. That we have them is a fact. It is important that we are understanding that we all have families with problems, that problems are a part of the incarnation structure. So when we work with Rose as a healing agent, as an elemental force of kindness, compassion, and care, we're going to slowly, softly unravel a dialogue with the problems. And the unraveling of those problems, when held with respect and acknowledgement, actually heal quite well. They move on into that diverse range of available light source frequency, which is basically turning knowledge, what you think you know, into wisdom, which is an embodied awareness of self. So the program and the process that we cover in this 5-week initiation starts the dialogue through a process that allows for this to unravel in a safe way, bringing you back to wholeness and unity, which is essentially the repair system that most of us have been bypassing because we've been taught by patriarchal forces that we need different types of medicines to fix ourselves, when ultimately those medicines aren't fixing us, they're perpetuating a system of dominance and control. And so this process is an alternative to that type of medicine. So I'm going to slowly wrap this video up. Why Rose? Because she's an ancestral lineage holder. Why plant spirit? Because our systems have an intimate connection with plants, being that they've been our food sources since forever. Our intelligence works really well with plant spirits and plant medicine. Food is medicine. Yes, you can eat roses. You don't have to in this program. It's not a part of the deal, but you can maybe drink some rose tea. So let me just wrap this up. If you're interested in diving a little bit further into this program, or you have questions, please contact me. Hopefully the information is up already. This is what I'm offering right now. I may offer it again, but it will be some months away. I'm talking 6 months away before I run this again. So if now is your time, please join us. If you have more questions, please tune in to the extra information I've got there. I would really love to see you. I'd really love to introduce to you some of the practices that I swear by, because they're the evolution that I landed on for my own healing work and my own voicing. And I feel quite safe in saying, acknowledging that they work really well for me, and they may work for you too. So I hope so. Hope to see you on the program. Until next time, be well. Much love and roses. See you.